Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to install a Ring Video Doorbell 3 Plus. In this simple video tutorial, I'll be going over the simple steps for installing this doorbell. This is the Ring Video Doorbell 3 Plus once again. Now I'm going to say this right at the beginning of the video. Although this doorbell can be hardwired or battery powered, I'm going to be showing you how to install it as a battery powered option, not a hardwired option. So if you want to see how to install it as a hardwired option, this is not the video for you. But if you're installing it as a battery powered option, this is the video for you. Or if you know how to wire it up, but you just want to know how to mount it properly, this is the video for you. Okay, so this is the packaging that it comes in. As you can see, Ring Video Doorbell 3 Plus, battery or hardwired power. Very simple and straightforward. Now, before you actually mount it and install it, you are going to want to put the battery in and set it up in your Ring app. Place it where you want it to go roughly, and you want to make sure that the video is good in that location, because you don't want to mount it and set it up and then you're like, oh wait, I don't want it there, I want it somewhere else. Now, it does also come with a few options for mounting it. You have this right here, which is a little wedge that places it at an angle. So if you place that, it places it at an angle in either direction. Okay, very simple and straightforward. Put that down there. And this is a wedge over here that places it at a vertical angle. Okay, whether it's upwards or downwards. Very simple and straightforward. Okay, pretty cool situation here. Now, I will say this: if you are mounting it to a wooden surface or something that has wood behind it, then you can just use the appropriate screws. I'm looking for them right here. So there's just screws in here. Okay, you could just screw it right into the wood, like I'm going to show you how to do right now. If you are mounting it to a brick or stucco or stone surface, then you're going to want to use the anchors. So you're going to, drill a pilot hole with the included drill bit, place the anchors inside of those pilot holes that you've drilled, and then you're going to screw into those anchors. The anchors just allow the screws to stay in something other than wood. Okay, very simple and straightforward. So basically, if you sorry about that. I hear some dinging, but I think it's just a bell. It's just someone riding their bike going by. Yep. Okay. So anyways, continuing forward without that distraction, it was just a little someone ringing their bell as they were riding by. If you are mounting it without the wedge, then there are going to be these 4 holes right here. You're going to use these to mount it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to just figure out where you want it to go, screw it right into place. Very simple. I will be showing you how to mount it with the wedge, because that's pretty easy and straightforward. If you're mounting it with a wedge, I'm going to mount it with a sort of a side angle wedge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it wherever I want it to go. Okay. And it's cool because there are lines, so you can mount it anywhere on there, and you can use those lines to move it side to side exactly where you want it to go. Okay, so I'm going to, once again, just draw within the line right there. Okay, I'm going to mount it right here. My marker is running out. I'm drawing within the line, and then within those lines right there, I'm going to place another mark in the same spot vertically. So that's right where that T is right there, right where that intersection is. That is where I'm going to be drilling into. Now, what you're going to want to do at that point is, let me make this clear. Your ring mounts onto the plate so that you screw into the holes over here. So it's not mounting flush like this. You mount against the part that has all these extra little ridges inside of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 screws, and I'm going to be just drilling a few small little pilot holes basically. So I'm going to take the screwdriver and I'm just going to make a little indent in both. Oops, there we go, there that screw goes. I'm going to make a little indent in both of these spots. Luckily, Ring actually provides you with extra screws and anchors and stuff like that, which is really cool because we lose them. I mean, that one's right beside me, but I lose screws all the time when I'm installing stuff. Now, the reason I'm doing this without the plate on top, without the wedge on top, is because I want to make it easier when I have the wedge on there. I want to make it easier to actually get to screw it in place. So I'm just making a little indent like that. Very simple. Just because when I have the plate there, it becomes much more difficult. It's already difficult as is. Now, if you are going to be using a drill, okay, which I'll show you in a minute, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're not drilling in all the way, because then you might crack the wedge, you might crack the plate. Okay, I always laugh. My father-in-law wears dentures, and he always talks about how he cracked this plate one time. He told me he cracked this plate. So whenever I say I cracked the plate, talking about some bracket, I always think about him saying that. Anyway, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna place the wedge in place in the right orientation. I'm gonna take my screws, okay, and I'm gonna drill them in place. Let's use a screwdriver to start it off. I don't want to strip these screws or mess them up. So I'm gonna take these over here. We're gonna drill them in. We're gonna place them in place. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna take my screwdriver now that I have my nice pilot hole, and I'm gonna screw it in place. Now, generally speaking, I would be a little bit better at this. However, I'm working sideways here. Now I'm gonna take my drill and I'm just gonna see what I don't want to strip these screws because I need them for after. Okay, let's try again. Okay, you know what? We're just going to use the screwdriver. I wanted to save you all some time, but you know what? If you see that happening, I probably should have gotten a different bit, but if you see that happening, just use a screwdriver, very simple. So you're gonna have to just deal with me tightening this up for a little bit. Now I will tell you, installing the anchors, you know, it's a tedious task. You gotta get a hammer drill and you gotta drill it in properly and so forth. But it is much easier to actually screw into those anchors, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get on my knees here, get some leverage so we can actually screw this in, and I don't want these ladders to topple on me, so I'm trying not to go too hard. But we're tightening this in place right here. Ooh, forearm workout. Oh, you hear that? That's pure strength right there. Okay, let's get these in, come on. I'm ready to move forward with this video. Okay, now I'm gonna take the other screw right here, find that little hole that I created right over there, okay? Always better to do that. I always do that when I'm installing anything. It takes a few extra moments, but you are way less likely to make any errors. I'm sorry about all of this hold up. You know, like I said, I'm installing this actually on my front door, and I already put the anchors in place. So I already did all the hard work there. I'm not going to be drilling into wood. It's on brick. That's the cool thing about this. Like, I put the anchors in place, they're ready to go. So when I'm ready, I can just install it. Okay, no problem. Okay, I did not want this to take this long, but you know what? It's good. This is a real situation. I'm not cutting anything out. There's no editing. This, you know, I've seen many videos and many instructions where they make it seem like it takes 3 minutes, and it doesn't. It's a quick and simple process. It's painless, easy, but it takes a solid 10 to 15 minutes, even after you've set up the video, okay? So I would say this is good enough. This is by no means permanent. Oops, by no means permanent. After this video, I'm gonna take this off and I'm installing it on my front door. But it's in place. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the ring. Now the cool thing about this one is it comes with 2 different face plates. You can choose which one you want. We're gonna leave this one on now just for simplicity, okay? I've installed the battery already. Make sure you put your battery in. Make sure you set it up like I said before. We're going to take this, we're going to place it on the wedge, and we're going to drill into, we're going to put the screws into those little spots. Now, you should have a number of these smaller screws, these tiny little screws. These are the screws that actually go into, that screw into place. So I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to be placing the doorbell in place. Now, I'm going to try and do this rather quickly because already it took much longer than I wanted it to in terms of the installation. I wanted it to be a quick video, but you know what? It's better that you see how long it actually takes instead of some phony video that I'm gonna make where I make it seem like it doesn't take nearly as long. So you're gonna secure 4 of these screws, okay? You're gonna be able to line them up inside of the holes that are in that bracket over here, okay? So I'm just loosely putting them in right now, and then what I do is after I've done that, I like to tighten them up all together. Because if you tighten 2 up on one side, what might happen is, you know, you might end up, it might be on too much of an angle. So now I'm going to tighten them up once I put this last 4th one in. So 4 screws go in place right here. One goes down here, just like that. Okay, let's put this in place over here. Sorry if my head was blocking the way. So now we're going to tighten them up. We're going to tighten this one up right over here, this one up over here. Yeah, I always like to do everything about 90% and then tighten it up at the end. Just makes it easier. Right over there. Okay, our Ring doorbell is nice and secure. Now we're going to take our face plate. We're gonna push it back in place like that. And then at the bottom, there is a tiny little hole, okay? Now I'm gonna tell you what to do with that little part right there. There's gonna be 2 of these little security screws. These are these screws that have a different bit on them. So when you take this out and you flip it around, there's gonna be a security bit right there. So we're gonna open up the bag and we're gonna take out one of the security screws. You're only gonna need one of them. Ring always provides you with all the things you need and extra parts too. Awesome, awesome, awesome thing to do, okay? And right over here, there's going to be a tiny little hole. I'm gonna take my security screw along with my screwdriver, and we're gonna tighten this up in place. And now, because that security screw is there, people cannot take this, I mean, unless they have this, right? Unless they have the screwdriver, but it prevents someone from pulling this off, which gives them access to the screws, you know. And you got to think about it this way: if your security camera is working properly, by the time they walk up to do anything to it, their face is going to be on this camera. So that's kind of the point of it right there. And it is to deter thieves even to begin with from even approaching your home. But that's it. Very, very simple process for installing a Ring Video Doorbell 3+ camera, video camera doorbell. It's absolutely awesome. It's a camera that is in the place of a doorbell. Awesome little product. I mean, these things are absolutely amazing. My whole home is outfitted with Ring cameras everywhere. It's an awesome, awesome system that you should get into. And if you get one of them, you're going to end up getting a spotlight cam and a solar panel probably, and all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of stuff you can get. But that's it. I really hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.